Hello, updated tubers, and welcome back to a channel update video with me, BlueAnkylo. It's been a fair while since I've done one of these, so I figured it was about time I had a little chat with you guys. So, you know, we got a few things to talk about. We're going into this unscripted, so if I ramble a bit, you know, that's what I do. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about some current series, some current plans for 2019, a little bit about what happened in 2018, and, yeah, lots of information about the channel anyway. So first off, I do sort of want to apologize for last year. 2018 was a really bad year for me, just sort of personally. I don't want to get into a ton of nitty-gritty details, but also the music, by the way, in the background is from OC Remix. It's nothing like a spoiler or anything, just that's what we're listening to. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is last year I was not in a great mood, frame of mind, I guess is probably the way to explain it. So I didn't really do a lot of recording, and I fell behind on a lot of series. Maybe I'll turn this down just a tiny bit, just in case. But yeah, so, I mean, you know, I guess just to explain a little bit, I live in a kind of a cool, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them, but it's a housing cooperative, so it's just like an apartment building, except the members are like part owners, and instead of having like a landlord, everyone sort of has a share purchase into the building, and it's cool and all, but I've sort of unwittingly become a very active participant in running the co-op, and along with that comes all kinds of responsibilities and stress. So unfortunately, a lot of my free time, when I would otherwise maybe be working on the channel, has been sucked up by that, and it's kind of depressed me a bit. So that's kind of the problem with 2018, and I've been, you know, I don't know, like, I've had some weird health issues, like nothing serious, don't worry, but like all kinds of weird things. I'm getting old, guys. It sucks. Anyway, other than that, things are fine. It's just, you know, I want 2019 to be better than 2018, so I figured, hey, let's talk, and we'll talk about our plans. So first off, one of the things that I'm trying to do better this year is stream more often. I only have so much spare time, but I always liked, you know, I enjoy streaming, I enjoy chatting with the people that come out, and having these things go kind of regularly is pretty fun. So I'm going to try to keep to maybe 1 or 2 streams a week on average, depending on, you know, availability. But so, you know, look forward to those. If you've never come to one, stop on by, say hello, even if you're not super interested in the game itself. I always enjoy chit-chatting with some viewers, because, you know, that's kind of one of the reasons I do this thing as a hobby. It's fun to chat with you guys. So I will be, although I don't know when this update video will be going live, but probably tomorrow I'll be starting a Majora's Mask live stream, and you know, it's going to be kind of cool. We're going to try to do it with some widescreen textures and HD mods. Like the textures will be replaced, the widescreen hack. It's the same thing we did with Ocarina of Time, except for Majora's Mask. So you know, on the old channel, if you've been paying attention, we've been uploading lots of Zelda Ocarina of Time. We've gotten maybe about halfway through the uploads on that. And probably a similar progress on the Dragon Quest III series. We've had a lot of fun going through Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3, and once those are all uploaded, that'll be a nice little trilogy done. So that's kind of the current 2 upload schedules, and they're both, I'd say, a few weeks away from being finished, the upload schedule. So that's pretty cool. Before I jump into the next games, one of the things that I've started doing for 2019, and I've always felt a little bit weird about this, but I've started, you know, Patreons in a couple ways for people to donate and stuff. I always feel weird asking for money, so by no means does this mean BlueAnkylo's sold out. This is like, I actually get like a few requests for this kind of stuff, and I've been putting it off, and, you know, no one's gonna, it's hard to, you know, turn your head at free money or anything, but point is, like, I do this hobby for fun. I don't care if I make $2 or $0. It really doesn't matter. If you guys feel like you want to support the channel and no strings attached, you know, head on over to the Patreon, or theoretically YouTube has this thing. It's kind of hard to find. Like if you go to the normal website, youtube.com/channel name, you can't see anything about it. You have to go through gaming.youtube, and then you can see this little join button. Or if you're at a live stream, which is over here, same thing. If you go to the gaming version of the live stream, there will be a little join button there. as well as if you're at the live stream, you could theoretically do the super chat thingamajigger, and it explains it there. Anyway, I made a little thing on YouTube, so if you come to the streams, if you want to be a regular paid member, instead of like a YouTube subscription, it's kind of new, I don't know how many people even know about it. You know how Twitch has paid subscriptions, like $5 a month? Well, YouTube has that now too. They're called members or something, and this is how you do it. And I've set it up so, you know, if you join the stream, you'll get a little badge by your name, and I've made some little emotes, which I think are really cool. There's one, assuming it works when I'm not live. Yeah, it totally works. So I've made a bunch of these guys for fun, so, you know, just kind of makes the streams kind of interesting, and, you know, hey, it's all voluntary, it's up to you guys. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, Patreon does its thing. I made basically a goofy little Patreon site with tiers and stuff here. You don't get, like, in-stream bonuses, but you don't also have to pay YouTube. So, you know, whatever you guys like, it's cool. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on that. One of these days I'm going to make a cool intro video for Patreon. One of the reasons I was holding off on doing this was I wanted to make a cool, like, edited video with how stuff works and all that, yada yada yada. But anyway, check it out. I'll leave a link in the description and all that, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you could find it if you're interested. So that's kind of my shilling anyway. We've got Patreon, we got paid YouTube memberships. Technically, you could probably find a PayPal link or something if you're really curious. It's not a big deal. Honestly, it's whatever you guys want to do. And just watching the videos is even cooler because, hey, I like having views and comments and stuff like that. I'm not going to be one of those streamers, tubers, whatever, that every single video, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, notified, blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever you guys want to do. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, no. So speaking of those sorts of things... Oops, wrong button. Just want to shill out another thing here. I've got a Steam group that every now and then I remember to remind people about. It's really hard to find on Steam. You know, you search in BlueTubers and you'll never find it. It's open to join, no special privileges unless you're terrible and then I might ban you, but for the most part, I don't think I've ever had to do that. We've got a group chat, so you might want to come by, say hello to Old Blue, you can do that, or leave a little message for me, that's fine. One of the reasons I'm, like, pointing this out is I specifically use my little group here to show a list of upcoming games. So I get, like, requests for games every day or two or second sometimes. This is kind of my internal list of stuff I'd like to Let's Play. Obviously, I have a million games I'd like to Let's Play and never enough time. But this is where I try to keep track of it, sort of what's going on, what I might stream, stuff that I'd like to get around to in the next 10 years, hopefully. And, you know, people can leave somewhere down here. You can leave a comment and make suggestions. If you post on a random YouTube video, I'll probably see it eventually, but the Steam group's a little bit easier for me to sort out. So yeah, there's the list. You can ask, you know, you can use this little tiny little forum, no big deal, it's nothing special. I also started this kind of thing, like, so because I set up some of the donations and stuff, I set up a little donation tracker. Yeah, look, it works, woo! You know, I'm super professional now anyway. The reason I did that was, I mean, I sort of explained it. If you come here, you can have a read, sort of talk about some stuff. I'm gonna try to do like a computer upgrade specifically for the hobby, and it's gonna cost a bit of money, and I'm kind of humming and hawing about it, you know, making some CPU upgrades and all that. So what I decided to do is that if people wanted to donate, then I just put that money specifically aside for my computer upgrade, because it's just money that goes right back into the hobby basically, and I'm not really like making huge bank or nothing, so it's just kind of a cool little thing. So yeah, that's there. If you want to learn more about that, check it out if you feel like it. Yeah, you know, whatever. Steam group is Steam group. It's nothing special really, but like I said, if you want to chat or leave a post, go for it. What else do I do? I mean, technically I have a Facebook group and a Twitter, but I don't use those very much. You're more likely to catch me on either a live stream or a Steam chat, so that's probably where I would recommend you go. So that's kind of like the money side of things, if you're interested. Like I said, I'll probably talk about Patreon more later on. I'm still sort of setting this up a little bit. Like it's, I don't want to show everyone. It's not like it's private, but anyway, I haven't really done much with my Patreon just yet. I have some silly goals. Nothing's terribly serious. You know me, nothing's super serious. So after that, then let's talk about a little bit about sort of some plans for 2019. So I already said, like, I'm gonna try to live stream more often. I will try to give a day or two's notice when I can, but sometimes my schedule doesn't work like that, and it's just oh, surprise, Blue's live, so however you do your notifications and stuff. I do tend to post them in the Steam group as well, so if YouTube fights with you and you don't get your notifications, which I certainly hear lots of people saying, I do make, like, events in the Steam group, so maybe you get Steam notifications more often than YouTube notifications. So, you know, it has some uses anyway. Okay, so that's Steam, live stream. Right, so games. Now, once I was thinking originally of going through Dragon Quest 1, 2, 3, and then maybe continuing on with 4, 5, 6. But I don't want to totally burn out on Dragon Quest RPGs, and they do kind of have some serious grinding. I wouldn't say problem, but it takes some time to grind through. Even 1, 2, and 3 with the remakes, where they sped things up a little bit. So I think I'm going to hold off on 4, 5, and 6 for a little while. Maybe take a few months or a year off, and then we'll come back and hit another chunk of Dragon Quest games out. I really do enjoy the series, but you know, we just did 3 in a row, so we'll put that on hold for a little bit. I think 4 and 5 are probably my favorites, and I definitely want to do them as well, just like I wanted to go through Final Fantasy 1 through 6. You know, we'll do the same sort of thing with Dragon Quest. Like I sort of spoiled, you know, because I figured it kind of goes back to back. I spent all this time working on a fancier HD version of Ocarina of Time, so I'm like, well, we may as well follow that up with Majora's Mask. It only makes sense. That might be the only 2 Zelda games on the short list. I probably will get around to like Wind Waker and maybe Breath of the Wild. I have to get my capture card for my Switch working for that. I haven't actually played Breath of the Wild yet, and I'm kind of, again, humming and hawing about maybe streaming it or recording it one way or the other, but that's something to look forward to if you like the Zelda stuff. On that line of thinking, I'm probably going to follow up. This is a bit longer term planning, which may or may not happen, but I'm kind of planning after Majora's Mask, maybe to continue on with the Metroid Prime series, because I did Metroid Prime 1 like a couple years ago, and I've been meaning to, you know, finish off 1, 2, and 3. I heard Nintendo canceled or postponed Metroid Prime 4. Not canceled, but they switched developers or something. So there's no rush, but I'd like to have Metroid Primes done. I enjoyed those trilogies as well. And that kind of wraps up all the Metroid games. Oh, right, speaking of Metroid, this is sort of a spoiler again. This is, again, more like 6 to 12 months or further in advance. There's Other M, the Metroid game that is... a lot of people were very upset about for a variety of reasons. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on the channel once or twice. But there's a really neat little mod. So if you can get it working in your emulator, which again, maybe would be easier with a better computer. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you guys. But yeah, if my computer can handle it, there is some neat little mods that basically takes out a lot of the stuff I didn't like. Because story aside, the game itself was pretty fun, except for one little thing with... and I don't know how to explain it without showing it off, but like it was designed for the Wii's Wiimote aiming sort of motion controls. So normally it plays like a side-scroller where you're just running around shooting things like a normal 2D Metroid game, like Super Metroid. But then when you want to fire a missile, oh, suddenly you gotta hold still and switch to first-person aiming mode, where you have to point your little Wiimote at the screen, and this one's kind of more annoying than nice. Just skip to the next song. Everyone likes Link to the Past, right? So, I didn't like that. I hated the mechanic for shooting missiles, basically. And from what I understand, the mod makes it so it removes the first-person scanning / missile aiming stuff, and you can just play it like a 2D Metroid mostly again. I'm like, that sounds pretty good. So I kind of want to try that, and it might spend a little bit of time cutting out some of the really cringy cutscenes. So I'm thinking maybe that's a way to play Other M that will be kind of fun. Anyway, I want to get more Zelda, more Metroid done eventually, but like again, we're talking fair far into the future. In the shorter term, so what have I said? We've got an RPG that's going to end. We've got sort of a action-y Nintendo game that's going to go on. If I continue this series of Zeldas and Metroids, that'll go on forever. I'm looking at also putting in a strategy slot, so maybe instead of 2 videos a day, 3, because, you know, we've got lots of variety in viewers here, and I'm probably going to do that with War Group. I've already started playing it a little bit. If you're looking, if this is kind of a new release, so that's bonus for getting new viewers, right? That's what you got to do. But no, seriously, it's a fairly small studio. Same guys that put out Stardew Valley, Starbound, and a few other games. I was a huge fan of Stardew Valley, and Wargroove is kind of like Advance Wars if you played that on the Game Boy Advance. And if you didn't play that, it's similar to some of the Fire Emblems. It's a strategy game, you know, tile-based movements, and instead of Fire Emblem where you have like limited heroes, this time you sort of recruit replaceable units, expendable units, and only have a couple sort of heroes, as you might see here. Anyway, it looks really good. It's kind of a cutie, not cutesy, but it's a more cartoony style than some of the other strategy games. It's not like a gritty, hardcore XCOM exactly, but it's certainly a fun, lighthearted, but still kind of difficult strategy game. So anyway, I'm having some fun with that, and that'll show up on the channel hopefully fairly soon. Following that, if you're only watching the videos and not watching the live streams, you probably wouldn't know, but I'm also in the process. This is a great title screen. This is Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. I just put a spoiler here just to give you an idea. This is another strategy game. This is more of a space strategy game, and we started playing it on the live streams, and I've been really enjoying it, and it will get uploaded to YouTube eventually, but I'm kind of running out of like upload slots, so it might take a few weeks before these show up. But this one, if you want to check it out, I'll be not on this stream, but probably the one after it, probably going back to more Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, which is, how to explain it, kind of a turn-based space strategy game. It's kind of got a campaign layer with resource management, some mild resource management, and then a battle map mode, like a battle version where it's still turn-based. So it's kind of got that Total War thing going on, where you've got two different gameplays going on, two different gameplay mechanics. And it's definitely in the Battlestar Galactica world, where if you're familiar with that old TV series, perhaps you might be familiar with the ship design. It's a bit more realistic, although not purist realistic, but it's more science fiction than science fantasy, so that's pretty fun. And you get to see me blow up giant spaceships in space. It's different than, like, the new game is, everyone's talking about, what's it called? Gothic Armada, Battlefleet, Gothic Armada 2, you know, the Warhammer one. This is different than that. That one's more arcadey, I would say. This one is more turn-based strategy, realistic, sorta. Again, realistic with the side of sorta. But it's really fun. It's actually quite difficult. We're playing it on hard mode, and I'd recommend you come check it out if you're interested. It's pretty cool. Or just go buy it, play it yourself, you know, why not? And then finally, okay, so we're talking about, like, channels, right? Like, I've got, like, an RPG, an action game, a strategy game. But I've got lots of action games. I've got a couple strategy games. What about the RPG? Blue, what about the end of Dragon Quest? Alright, guys, seriously this time. I've been teasing this one for, well, years. We're finally going to Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicles for 2019. Like I said, 2019 is my year to start catching up and feeling better about stuff. I have been promising to Let's Play this game, I don't know, it's been a long, long time. I'm going to do it, I promise. As soon as Dragon Quest 3 is done, maybe give me a week or a month. Just don't give me a year. Someone call me out on it. I'm not going to be playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 yet. I'm not going to promise that, but we're going to start with the first one. I have played maybe a quarter of it on my own time, and then I moved and lost my save file, so I have to start over again. And we're going to do it, you know, for the channel. It's for you guys. And me. But anyway, it's, if you haven't heard of this game yet, I mean, heck, this is a giant RPG. Probably one of the best, straight up best Wii RPGs on the series. Or Wii RPGs on the, what do you call it, console? That's the word, right? So anyway, we're going to finally do that. I'm going to not exactly follow a guide or a walkthrough. Like, it's not going to be perfectly blind. Basically, I promised to play it legitimate except for some of the side quest stuff. There's this system where you, like, solve villagers' problems. It's like a side quest thing. And it's kind of got like some Majora Mask feel where you have to talk to people at the right time of the day, at the right weather and the right moods, and you get them to do stuff. It's cool, but doing it blindly is terrible. So I might have a bit of a spoiler-free guide that will help me not waste 100 hours of video time skimming through that. So that's kind of the plan. It's an RPG. It's got kind of a sort of an MMO style in the sense that you control all your characters. Basically, I mean, you control one character. It's like action RPG. But the rest of the characters move around in kind of an MMO. You need a tank, you need some DPS, you might need a healer. It's a party of 4 kind of thing, I think, if that's what I remember correctly. Anyway, it's pretty cool. It was kind of revolutionary, I guess, when it came out. It's got a really good story. Heck, it was so popular, these guys made it into Smash Brothers. You might even recognize his sword. So that was cool. Anyway, I'll stop rambling about Xenoblade, but that's pretty exciting. I didn't make a special screen for it, but if Xenoblade ever finishes, like, this is one of those games that might take like 100 episodes, my potential follow-up, which may or may not ever happen, I haven't actually played this one yet either, but I would also like to get, maybe let's play Octopath Traveler. This is a more throwback to old, like, Final Fantasy VI era JRPGs on the Switch. And I've heard really good things, and I'm kind of... I mean, I just wish I had more time. I would have already played it by now if I had spare time, so... That's maybe on the list of 2019, if I can get there. And that's the plan, man. That's what we're doing. So I've got lots of stuff to do. Hopefully, I'll stay healthy this year and tell my neighbors to bug off, and we'll be really productive channel. You know, like, I got lots of little ideas for the channel I'd like to keep going on, and I do sort of feel sort of obligated. One of the reasons I didn't start Patreon and all this stuff earlier is once I feel like, you know, if you guys are donating regularly per month, even like a low amount, like the lowest tier is a whole $1 a month, but I still feel sort of obligated to like continue putting content out rather than taking an entire month off and just banking that extra $1. You know what I mean, right? Like, so this year we started that stuff. That's gonna, maybe the good side of that is that will help keep me motivated so that I you know, keep pushing content. Again, I don't want this to turn into a job where I'm like working hard, slaving away over the internets, you know, editing videos for 20 hours at a time. But as long as it's fun and you guys are enjoying it, I mean, this is kind of my fun thing to do when I'm not fighting with my neighbors and running an entire building on my own. Anyway, that's been enough long, rambly chit-chat. I've given you some ideas of what's coming up, and I welcome you guys to come to a live stream or leave a comment on this video, whatever you want. You know, hey, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I won't tell you how to live your life. You do what you want to do. Alright, folks, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the update video, and I hope to see you on another video in the future. This is some nice tunes. We got some Final Fantasy VII. Also, I've been using Nightbot for our live streams. It's pretty cool. We got some custom commands I've been sort of working on. This will stop the music if I open it. Hold on. I need to make a new tab. Man, this Firefox, eh? 50 tabs open. It's way better than Chrome. My computer would have crashed by now. No, anyway, I made some... You know, if you come to the live stream, you know, I'm making Ankylo fact commands and, I don't know, stuff that all the popular streamers do. I don't know. I'm not trying to be popular. I'm just trying to copy what works, I guess. It's kind of fun. Anyway, I guess we should end the video, hey? Thanks for coming out. Hope you've enjoyed. See you around.